Hey, this is Brad Tipton, and I'm reaching out because over the past several months, I've had over 500 requests for folks to learn how to, well, looking for me to help them to leverage their CUSIP to discharge debt. And so I really hadn't planned to do any training like that at all this year. I ended at that at the end of last year. But when you get so many people, let me show you what I mean to give you an idea. Hopefully, I can pull this up here uh, while I'm using this recording screen. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Uh, when you see the ones that says me, this is where I've responded to somebody, but when you see just the name right there, that's where and you'll see the word either CUSIP or mortgage payoff or CUSIP or CUSIP or CUSIP or CUSIP. That's what they're looking for. So they're reaching out, and that's what it is. So if you look at these, you'll see as I go up, just person after 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 person, looking for information on the CUSIP. And it just blew me away. And as you can just see, I'm still scrolling, and I'm just still scrolling, and there's still people and still people, still people. And so I said, look, if I need to put something together to help these folks, because if they don't, they're going to go and deal with somebody online who has no idea what they're talking about. So my motivation for doing this was, even though I wanted to stop doing it as of last year and move in a different direction completely in my legal services business this year, I decided, look, I'm going to help folks because I don't want you going to the wrong places and getting the wrong information about how to leverage your CUSIP and utilize it to discharge debt. So that's what it is. So also, if you know me, you know I've written several books. I'm really good at creating websites and digital things like that. And so it usually looks really nice, but because I'm just kind of putting this together off the cuff, it doesn't look that great as I explain to you what it is. So let's get into it. I know your time is valuable. For if you don't know who I am, my name is Brad Tipton. I am the one who created this program where I can help you to discharge any debt without you having to do anything but sign your name and drop a letter in the mail. Right? I created that program. It's called the acceptance pathway process. I created that process where you just simply create a letter, drop it in the mail, and debt is discharged, and that's how it goes. So I created that program. I also created this several books. This is called How to Fight a Non-Judicial Foreclosure in Court and When. I wrote that book. Here's another one, a simple step-by-step process to avoid any past or present court case or judgment. I wrote that book. How to make any debt disappear in 30 days or less. I wrote that book. How to use quantum grammar to remove debt, using the language to do it. I wrote the book on how to find your CUSIP number, how to use the birth certificate CUSIP number, how to find that. I wrote the book called How to Vacate a Judgment, a practical guide to understand and vacating a past judgment. I wrote that book. I wrote the book How to Stop a Foreclosure in 3 simple steps, even if the sheriff's sale is already done and you're still living in the property. Other things I've done out here, help you to get your court case dismissed within 14 days by filling out a simple 1-page document, or you pay nothing. I show folks how to do that. Other stuff that I own a legal services business, which is where I really wanted to focus my attention this year. But when folks started reaching out to me saying, hey, Brad, how do I use my CUSIP to discharge debt? At first, for like the first 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 people, I was like, look, I'm not in that industry this year. I'm not helping with that this year. But once I get over 500 folks reaching out to me, again, I want to show you the emails. I don't want you to think that I'm fabricating it or something along those lines. These are actual folks reaching out to me, asking for help with their CUSIP, right? Those are real folks reaching out to me, asking for help regarding their CUSIP. And so I wanted to say, look, I put together a program, and I'm reaching out because some people say, oh, Brad, you're creating a program because you just want more money. Man, trust me, with my legal services business, I want you to know I charge for 15 minutes. Is $1,000 for 15 minutes, right? So it's $4,000 an hour. So by creating this program, it's not a money grab. It's either I'm going to show you how to do it properly, or you're going to go to somebody and learn how to do it wrong. You're going to pay them, and you're not going to get the result. So that's why I created this program. I wanted to educate you. I wanted to empower you, and I want to protect you. That's my reasons for doing it. So that's it. So the brand new program for me is called the CUSIP King Debt Discharge Training Program, called the CUSIP King Debt Discharge Training Program, and I'm using what I call my REST process, my REST process, to leverage your birth certificate, CUSIP, and discharge the debt. And it's my REST process, rest, because it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be something that you're working hard to do. So when I say the rest process, it's REST, right? That's where I got it from. But the first thing I always do in all of my programs, even with my current legal services business where I charge $1,000 for 15 minutes of my time, I still utilize the rapid reversal technology that I invented. And that technology is where in the public arena, whenever they're going to do something to you, you will notice they will always send you a letter, a document in the mail. And with my rapid reversal technology, I take that same document, turn it around, and use it against them to get the result that I want. That's called my rapid reversal technology, where I take the thing that they sent to me to harm me, I turn that around and use the same energy in that thing to get the result that I want from them, or it harms them. And that's called my rapid reversal technology. For instance, just to give you an idea, what happens is, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. So let's go on to E. So E is where we establish a contract with them using administrative process. So many folks that I've seen out there using administrative process have no idea about how to properly use an administrative process, because when I look at their letters, there's two things that's missing. It never forms a proper contract, and there's no terms in it for if they fail to respond. Because sometimes you'll send an administrative process and they'll just completely dismiss you. They won't even give you the time of day. They'll just mistreat you like you didn't do anything to them. And what I find is if you don't have a mechanism inside your administrative process, the statement that says, if you don't get back to me, then this happens, right, to you. Then if you're missing that, then your administrative process has no, it has nothing that happens to them. There's no repercussions to them if they don't get back to you, or if they fail to discharge your debt. You have to have in the contract a portion of it that says, look, if you don't get back to me, if you don't reply, if you don't comply, then this is what happens to you. And if it's missing that piece, you got nothing. It has no, your administrative process has no teeth, is what I call it. It has no enforcement mechanism on the inside of it. And so what I do is I utilize the document that they sent to me, and I provide you with everything that you need, the templates and everything. So the templates are all included in here. If I didn't write it, please know. You get the fill in the blank templates where you just plop in your name, you sign it, the date, and whatever, you mail it, and you're good to go with your administrative process. So the first letter is called, so when, let's say they send you a monthly mortgage statement. This is just an example. It could be a car note, it could be a student loan, it could be a credit card, it can be whatever. I'm just saying. So with the first letter let's say they send you a monthly mortgage statement. So you always want to respond back with what's called a non-negotiable notice of conditional acceptance, where in that non-negotiable notice of conditional acceptance, you have your terms and conditions, where they agree to accept your CUSIP in 10 days, or to accept where if they don't get back to you and reply within 10 days, then they are agreeing to accept your CUSIP and your promissory note to settle and discharge the debt. And if they don't get back to you, they're agreeing to pay you a fee of like $10,000, right? I've never gotten that actual money. It's just the threat of it that makes them do it. So anyway, so the first letter is the non-negotiable notice of a conditional acceptance with your terms and conditions in it, and you give them 10 days to reply. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to reply or do anything that you ask. That's fine. So because of their failure to reply and do what you ask, you send the second letter that says, okay, now you are in fault. You have faulted by failing to get back to me, right? And let me give you an opportunity to cure your wrongdoing. So let me give you 10 additional days to answer the questions in my first letter. So it's like, let me get back to you and give you 10 additional days to answer the questions and the things that I requested in my first letter. Otherwise, you're agreeing to my terms and conditions, like the terms and conditions where I can utilize my CUSIP to create a promissory note and settle the debt, that kind of thing. So give them 10 more days. Again, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to reply to you. So you send a non-negotiable notice of default where it says, okay, you have defaulted. I contacted you once, you didn't get back to me properly. I contacted you twice and gave you more time to get back to me properly. Third letter says you didn't get back to me properly. Therefore, you have agreed that I owe you nothing, that you're going to set my account balance to zero, that you're going to clean up my credit, that you're going to send me my free and clear title, and you're going to pay me $10,000. You've agreed to that by your failure to get back to me, right? Those are just kind of some of the terms and conditions. Right. And what you've done with this is you've created what I call a legal contract. If you've ever been in a situation where you owe money to a lender or debt collector, like they will send you the first letter, the second letter, and the third letter. And if you don't reply back properly, then they will repossess your car, or they will garnish your wages, or they will foreclose on your house, or whatever it is. Right. So it's this 3-letter process, which we refer to as the administrative process. It's this 3-letter process that the whole world recognizes that creates a contract, right? So what I find is that here, the goal, of course, you want the debt discharge. There are a small chance, 20%, where they will just simply discharge the debt and go away and you're good. On that other 80%, they're not going to give you the time of day. But your goal, you have to think strategically and not just tactically. You have to think strategically. You have to go in your mind and understand that the purpose of sending this administrative process, these 3 letters, wasn't necessarily to discharge the debt. It was to create the contract that is enforceable in court if they don't settle and discharge the debt, right? So if you ever need to go to court, you can say, look, I have a contract where they have agreed that I owe them nothing, where they have agreed to set my account balance at zero, where they've agreed to send me my free and clear title, where they've agreed to clean up my credit and clean up any negative reporting, right? And they've agreed to pay me $10,000. But what'll happen in court is if you don't have the process in place where they've agreed to that, then there's no contract and you can't enforce it. The judge can't enforce what you don't set up. So this is designed to set it up so that when you ask for what's called summary judgment of the $10,000, the title of the house or the car, debt removal, set the account balance to zero. If you haven't done the upfront work with this, then the judge can't give it to you. You have to remember that judges and courts are what's called public servants. And so many people they get such a bad rep because folks living in the private community or in the sovereign citizen community, they don't do the upfront work properly. Then they go into court and they wonder why the judge doesn't give them what they want. It's because they didn't do the work, because they didn't think strategically, right? They just went in there talking about, I'm a sovereign citizen, I don't owe anything. Yeah, they're going to take your house if you do stupid stuff like that, right? So you have to set up things properly and establish a contract where they've agreed to your terms and conditions so that when you submit that into the court, the judge is like, well, he established a contract. Didn't you get his first letter? Well, I got it, Judge, but I just blew it off. Oh, did you get his second letter? Yeah, Judge, but you know how it is. No, did you get his third letter? Yes. Did you pay his invoice? Well, no. And the judge is going to be like, get out of here. My judgment is for Brad Tipton for settling the account, setting it to zero, giving him a title to his house or car or whatever it is, paying him $10,000. He's got a contract here, right? So the entire public world is about contract. And if you don't do the work up front to set up the contract, then you can never enforce it in court. And there are going to be times where you're going to need to enforce your discharge in court, but you have to do the work up front. And I provide you with all of the templates, all of the fill in the blank templates, all in the training, everything that you need, the video training and everything to set that up so you're in perfect shape, right? The other, so that's the rapid reversal is the R. The E is to establish the contract. S is to settle the entire debt with them. Now, most folks don't understand this. I'm going to show you something, because I'm going to show you something where most folks would never show you this because they don't even know about it. I'm going to show you something. Where is that here? Okay. I'm going to, as you likely already know, any debt or anything that you receive, bill, invoice, whatever, is called a presentment because it's being presented to you. If you don't know that, now you do, right? And what we're looking at here is what's called Black's Law Dictionary. And I want to pull this up so you know what is Black's Law Dictionary. Just so you know what we're looking at. So this is the different Black's Law dictionaries that come out over the years. I believe this one or this one is the most current. I have downloaded mine. That's how I like to do it. So I don't have to carry a big old fat book around, right? But let's see. It was first published in 1891. Let me just see. Here it is. For more than a century, Black's Law Dictionary has been the gold standard, not the bronze standard, not the wooden standard, not the silver standard, right? It is the gold standard for the language of law. Today, it is the most widely, not the kind of widely, it is the most widely cited law book in the world, right? Not Merriam-Webster, not anything else, not any other law book. This is the gold standard. This is the gold standard. Why do I say that? Because when I show it to you, you have to understand that it's like the Bible in a courtroom. It is the Bible in a courtroom, Black's Law. So you have to make sure that anything that you do it in accordance with Black's Law, because that's where they're going to look it up. So let's look up the word presentment. I think that's on page 1062 or something like that. Where are we at? 1064. Oh, I thought it was 1062. Presentment. I think I went too far. Let me go back up a little bit. Sorry, but I mean, that's fine. So at least you know I've got the actual book here, right? Here it is, presentment. Now, if you want to, you can stop this video. I'm not going to read this entire thing. I'm just going to get to the good part, right? And the good part is everything that I'm sharing with you has, right here, you see this highlighted part? That's Supreme Court case law, right? So I'm not talking about something that I dreamed up. This is out of Black's Law Dictionary, the most widely cited law book on the planet. And out of that, I'm quoting from Supreme Court case law here as well as here. Okay. And it also has the UCC, where the rules, guidelines, the UCC says it as well. So Black's Law says it, the Supreme Court says what I'm about to share with you, and the UCC says what I'm about to say to you. So it's not something I pulled obscure. So like I said, I'm gonna skip to the bottom. A presentment is a demand. But you already know this. You already know that when you receive your monthly mortgage statement in the mail, or car note in the mail, or credit card, student loan, whatever it is, you know that when you get that in the mail, it's not a Hallmark greeting card. You already know it's a demand. What I'm about to share with you is, I don't know if you know what it's a demand for. So it says a presentment is a demand for this, right? Or this, right? So let me highlight the whole thing together so we see it together. So in other words, it's saying when you receive your monthly mortgage statement, it's a demand for acceptance or payment. Now, most folks understand payment, of course, but most folks don't understand acceptance, right? And that's because you can do an acceptance, because typically with that monthly mortgage statement or whatever it is, there's a coupon with it. And if you don't properly accept it and return it to them, then the debt can't get discharged, right? So most folks understand that when you receive a presentment, yes, it's a demand, but it's a demand for one of two things: payment or acceptance. One or the other, not both, right? You can't do both. So if you're going to do payment, don't try to do acceptance. If you're going to do acceptance, don't try to do payment. It's or. I didn't write this. Black's Law wrote it. Right? So acceptance or payment. Great. So what it's saying is that you got to learn how to accept the coupon that they send to you. And many of you, I know you've already heard that. The question is, how do you do that, Brad? That's what this program is all about, to tell you how to settle the entire debt according to acceptance in Black's Law. How do you do that is what people want to know from me, right? So you have to understand, again, we have to go with the definitions that are in the legal world, not from some sovereign citizen webpage or some living in the private guru or some, what, you can't go by that stuff. You gotta use what the world, what the public, what the courts use. You have to use their tools if you want to get the outcomes that they can give you, right? So here's what I did. Now, I don't know if you understand what AI is. It's called artificial intelligence. It helps me to cut down research and all kinds of stuff. I can put a term in the internet. It can search the entire internet. While I would just be studying one page, it can search the entire internet and get me my answer like that. It's called AI, artificial intelligence. So I utilize that. So I said, well, what is a coupon according to Burton's legal thesaurus? Because Burton's, just like typically you use Merriam-Webster's dictionary, then you use the thesaurus to look up kind of other words. Well, in the same thing, they use Black's Law Dictionary, and they use Burton's thesaurus to kind of look up the synonyms of a word. Anyway, I used that in AI, and it said that, hey, according to Merriam-Webster and according to the thesaurus, a coupon, because usually they send you a coupon right with your monthly mortgage statement, right with your student loan, whatever it is. They send you the coupon. A coupon is a slip, a ticket, or a certificate. Coupon is also called a voucher. Voucher. You're like, okay, Brad, what does that have to do with anything? You got to go back to Black's Law. Here's the V book, the V section of Black's Law. Let's blow it up. Because once you understand what a voucher is, you're going to win. And this program is designed to help you do that. So this program is designed to provide you with the backdrop where other people say things, but they never tell you the how to do it. This program provides you with the step-by-step how to do it. You know, what are the steps? How do you do it? And I have a team here that'll be answering your questions. They're available 24/7 via email. I have a legal team that's here to help you. So you can't go wrong with this. I need to go down further. I'm sorry. Voucher. Here it is in Black's Law. All right. Now again, you can stop the video and read it yourself. I'm just going to kind of get to the good part, right? A voucher. Now remember, your monthly mortgage statement or car note or whatever it is, student loan, credit card, it comes with a coupon, a voucher right with it. And it says the voucher is a receipt. It's an acquittance. Remember, again, we're using the legal world. Have you ever heard somebody that was acquitted of a crime? Well, the voucher is your acquittance. It's also your release from the debt. It is also evidence of payment, but the voucher is your discharge of a debt. The voucher is the key to the discharge of the debt, right? It's the voucher, right? It's the voucher. Check this out. A voucher is a document that does two things. It recognizes the liability, right? So let's say you owe $100,000 on your house. The voucher recognizes the liability that you owe. And what else does it do, Brad? It authorizes the disbursement of cash. What? It recognizes the liability, the voucher, the coupon that's on your monthly mortgage statement or whatever. The voucher recognizes the liability and it authorizes the disbursement of the cash. So that's the power of this part of the program. I show you how to utilize that coupon, right? To acknowledge the debt, have the debt collector acknowledge the debt and release the disbursement of the cash to settle it. This program shows you how. I provide the videos. Of course, I'm not doing it because everybody's got a different time frame. So I put it on video so that you can log into the password protected training area. You can watch it when you're, some people are like morning people, some people are like night people. So you got to do the training when it's right for you, right? The other thing is that some people are on the go. So they need the ability to watch it on their smartphone. So it's mobile friendly, it's mobile ready. All the templates are there. All the downloads are there. You just download them, fill in the blanks and follow the instructions and mail it in and sign it. You're good to go, right? So everything is there for you, right? So use the rapid reversal. See, again, this is my REST program process. I want you to just take it easy, not stress. You've got all the support that you need. You've got me. You've got the videos. You've got the downloads. You've got the templates. You've got my customer service team. You've got my legal support team. You've got it all. So you can just rest. You can just relax. Take it easy. All right. So anyway, I show you how to settle the entire debt by using the acceptance process that's mapped out in Black's Law, right? So once you do that, once you've accepted the debt and discharged it, and then once you've gotten your proper administrative process that sets up the contract, then they should go ahead and dismiss and discharge the debt. But you want me to tell you something? Sometimes they just completely ignore you. And I can't tell you how many people reach out to me saying, Brad, I did the administrative process and they ignored me. They won't do it. And now they're taking me to court, or they're taking my house, or they're repossessing my car. I did the administrative process. It's because your administrative process didn't have any teeth. It didn't have the ability, right, to take them to court and enforce your discharge if necessary, right? So I want you to know that the T, R-E-S-T, is we help you take them to court if necessary, right? We handle all your court documents. Why? Because I own a complete, where is it here? I own a complete legal services company, right? So I've got us right here. I mean, I've got all the help that you need right here. I own a complete legal services company, right? So you're not wondering. So let's say you have to take them to court. How do you write up the motion? How do you fill out the documents? How do you get summary judgment against them? How do you? I got a team that walks you through that, so that you can rest, so that you can relax, so that you can chill, right? We do that for you. That's why it's called the REST program. You rest. We help. So if you need to take them to court, we handle all the court documents. We write up all your initial complaint, right? If they respond, we shut them down in court, because a lot of times they'll send their attorneys they'll send their attorneys, this, that, and the other, and we shut the attorney down like that. No problem. But if they don't respond, we need to put in the proper motion for summary judgment. And the judgment needs to be for two things: judgment for complete discharge of the debt, and the judgment for the fee that they agreed to pay up here when we did the administrative process. Most times you won't get to $10,000. It's good to ask for it, right? So our goal is to make sure that you do everything possible so that you stay protected. Right? That's what this program is about. It's called, my newest program is called the CUSIP King Debt Discharge Training Program. And it's using my REST process to use your birth certificate's CUSIP to discharge the debt. We use my rapid reversal technology, right, where we take the documents they sent to us, turn them around, and use them against them to use them against, like, let's say it's a bank. They send you the monthly mortgage statement. We utilize that, right, because the coupon is on there. We turn it around and actually get the discharge. We reverse it, right? We establish a contract with them by the administrative process, a proper administrative process where we establish a contract so that if we ever need to go to court, we have a contract that we can enforce, where we can say, Judge, we've established a contract. They breached the contract. Please go ahead and give us summary judgment in our favor. But if you don't set this up properly, you can't go to court properly and win, right? Then we settle the entire debt, where we utilize, right, like we saw in Black's Law, the coupon, the voucher, which is your release, which is your discharge, right, to settle the entire debt. It's beautiful. And then if for any reason they give you any pushback, or they don't do what you ask or demand or command, or they don't comply in any way, then our team, my team, does all the work to provide you with all the documents that you need. And in most cases, to just be as straight as possible with you, we do everything so that you don't even actually have to go into the courtroom to settle the debt and get the result that you want. We want to do everything by paper. We want to get summary judgments. We want to do motions and all that kind of stuff. And that's how we do it. And we have our team to do that for you. But if you do ever have to go into the courtroom, we show you how to show up in what's called special appearance. I've heard of so many people doing special appearance, and 99.99999% of people have no idea about how to show up in court by special appearance. For instance, when you show up in special appearance, you only ask questions. You never answer questions. The moment that you answer a question, right, you are no longer in special appearance, and you open yourself up to harm from the court, right? So you want to do that. So we walk through the entire process with you. So our goal with this program is very simple. We want to educate you. We want to empower you. And it's so powerful. This is not just for you. It's to help your entire family. Once you understand how to utilize this process, your debt is gone. But wait a minute. Your children's debt is gone. But wait a minute. Your parents' debt is gone. But wait a minute. Your nieces and nephews, cousins, aunties, uncles' debt is gone. Your friend's debt is gone. Everybody at your church's debt is gone, right? Because now you understand how to do it. You don't have to keep once our goal is to educate you so that you don't need me in the future, right? We want to empower you to get rid of debt for anybody that you come into contact with. And we want to protect you so that you show up always by special appearance. If you do need to ever go into court or whatever the case is, you're protected where nobody can come against you and win. But if you really listen to what I'm saying, you can remove the debt, not just out of your life, out of your children's lives, out of your parents' lives, aunties, uncles, cousins, friends, church. Everybody in your sphere of influence can be debt-free because of you. If you truly understand the gravity and the massive value that I'm bringing to you, this will blow you away. You're like, wait a minute. Well, wait. Do you know what our family could do if none of us ever had student loan debt? If all of our children could go to college and become doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, chiropractors, dentists, whatever, and never have debt? Do you know the massive benefit that is, Brad? Yeah, I do. I hope that you do. I do. I hope that you do. Right? You never have a debt. Your children never have debt. Your parents never have debt. Your aunts and uncles and cousins and siblings never have debt. Neither do their kids have debt. Your friends don't have debt. Your entire church is debt free, right? Or whatever it is. Imagine if somebody could train you how to do that, what could happen and how your life could. Imagine how your life, your family's life could be if you had that power. That's what I'm empowering you to do today. That's why I say that this program educates you. It empowers you to help your entire family forever and protect you all along the way. So if this is interesting to you, I want you to know the reason that I created this program is because so many people reaching out to me. Here it is, Brad. Brad, help me with my CUSIP, Brad, help me, help Brad, help Brad, help Brad, CUSIP. Okay. Now the help is here. You've got everything that you need. Once you click the button below, you can enroll in the program. It'll give you, what'll happen is once you enroll, it'll give you a welcome email, a thank you email. It'll tell you, contact me. It'll give you a special email to contact me. And once I get your email that shows that you've enrolled, I will email you a username and password to have access to the password protected training site. On the training site, you'll see video after video after video after video, right? You have 24/7 access to that video on laptop, desktop, smartphone, whatever device, 24/7, so you can learn at your convenience. You can download all the fill in the blank templates. If you have any questions, you can reach out to my team. You get a special email to reach out to my team 24/7, right? And get your questions answered. So you always feel comfortable. You always feel empowered. You never feel like you never feeling like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Just ask a question. We got you. So you're always feeling supported. You're always feeling confident that you're making the right steps in the right way at the right time, right? It's the REST program. So you can exhale, breathe, walk through the process, get it done right. And if for any reason, once you do the process correctly, right, that we show you, and if they don't comply or reply or do whatever you ask the bank or the credit debt collector or whatever it is to do, then we have a legal team, right, to write up all your documents, do everything, and enforce your debt discharge. Understand that that team is a minimum of $2,500. Like somebody just needs something done, it's $2,500. But our normal fee is 15 minutes, $1,000. It's $4,000 an hour. You get free access to that. So I want you to know you got everything. Oh, people say, Brad, is there a guarantee? Brad, is there a guarantee? Our guarantee is this. If you do things the way we ask you to do things, we guarantee you will get the result that we guarantee that your debt will get discharged, right? And here's the thing. If for any reason that doesn't happen, right, I will have my team continue to work for you, my legal services team, which is like top notch, high end, $4,000 an hour team. They will continue to work to you and for you until you get the result. That's the guarantee. Do I get my money back though, Brad? Look, I'm not interested. This isn't about getting the money back. This is about freedom for you, for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren, your nieces, nephews, uncles, cousins, parents, everybody. So if you're interested, oh, can I get my money? If that's your mindset, this ain't the program for you. The program is somebody who wants the result. So my guarantee is to take my $4,000 an hour team If for any reason you don't get the result, if you do, as you do things properly according to the training, you don't get the result, my team is going to get you the result, right? We're going to stay and stick with you till you get the result. So the rule is, if you don't give up on your debt discharge, we won't give up on your debt discharge, right? You pay nothing for our team, right? Once you enroll, if for any reason that bank doesn't comply, that lender doesn't comply, that debt collection company doesn't comply, we work for you and you pay nothing, right? There it is. So I put this together not because I wanted to, kind of at the beginning of the year, like I said, I got out of this. I put this together because there's so many people reaching out to me. So many people reaching out to me. Brad, oh, Brad, CUSIP, help me with my CUSIP, help me, right? So here I am, I'm helping, because I don't want you out there in the streets, out there on the internet, out there on the YouTube, out there in these Facebook groups, whatever, getting so-called help from people who don't know things like the stuff that I just showed you. The stuff that I just showed you today in Black's Law, the stuff that I just showed you about a coupon, the stuff that I showed you about a voucher, how it recognizes the debt and discharges the cash. Whoever told you that? Nobody. Not only do I tell you about it, but I show you how to do it. I provide you with all the templates. I provide you with all the downloads. I provide you with all the video training. I provide you with my team. I provide you with 24/7 access to my customer service team. I provide you with my legal team if needed to enforce your discharge. So I want you to know, if this is interesting to you, click below, enroll. Once you enroll, you'll go to you'll get a welcome email. You'll go to the welcome page, say welcome, contact Brad at such and such an email address. Contact me and say, okay, Brad, I enrolled. What'll happen is I will email you your username and password to access the member training area. You got access to the videos, to the templates, to the downloads, to my customer service team 24/7 via email. And if so that you always feel comfortable, confident that you're making the right decisions, right? Ask any questions that you want. And if for any reason you ever need my legal services team, again, $4,000 an hour or 15 minutes for $1,000. You don't pay that. You get their access. You get access to them for free. This is an elite group that knows exactly what they need to do to help you get the result that you want. And if for any reason you don't get that result, right, you still get access to that team and you pay nothing for that team. So what's your next step? Click below, enroll in the program, see the welcome email, and then shoot me an email saying, Brad, I'm aboard. Once you're aboard, I'll email you your username and password. All right. So thanks so much. I appreciate you so much. Have a great one. Bye.